Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Matt, and today I wanted to talk about basically maximizing the time that you put into language learning by focusing on high value impact activities, right? Depending on where you are with the language learning process. Now, this sounds like a bunch of buzzwords, but I think it's very important because there's a lot of times where, wherever we are in the language learning process, we focus on different things. And the reality is that we're probably going to get the most bang for our buck if we focus on the things that we need to focus on. And sometimes it's just useful to take a step back and really ask ourselves, what do I want to get good at right now? What do I need to get good at? And adjust my studying or learning accordingly. And I think a lot of beginners fall into this trap especially, but it really can happen at pretty much any stage of the process, right? And there's different stages of it, right? There's different stages of utilizing that time very effectively. So on the worst end of all of it, right, is probably consuming language learning material that's just super low value for a high time investment. And I think a lot of people that are serious into language learning aren't going to be consuming this stuff anyways, but you would be surprised where, in my opinion, there's really not a lot of value add of watching a video of something like 10 funny words to learn in a foreign language, and it's a 12-minute video, and it just why do you need to watch this 20-minute video to get that vocabulary? It's just very low value. Maybe it's entertaining, but that's really not helping you, right? For the time that you're putting in, it's just very low value, you're not getting a lot in return. And that's obviously the worst stage, right? But then there's also these kind of components where we need to focus on the things that we're really struggling with, and that's going to help us to get to a place where we're really enjoying the language and we're just going to make more progress. So maybe if you're a beginner, you really need to focus on acquiring more words, right? Acquiring words is super critical, and if you acquire more words, your listening comprehension is going to get better. You're going to be able to speak quicker, and that's really the thing that you should be focusing on. But instead, maybe you're trying to improve listening comprehension when in reality, you need to focus on learning more words. I even think at the intermediate stage, you can fall into this trap too, right? Where a lot of people, including myself at times, where you want to get better at listening comprehension, it's just not there. And you just kind of struggle of how do I improve my listening comprehension? What am I supposed to do? And you just kind of keep going with your normal routine. Well, if you want to improve that, you got to put in a lot of time into the listening comprehension skill. So it's not to say that you don't learn new words or focus on some of the other things that you've been working on, but try to put more effort into that thing that you feel like you want to make more progress in, or you need to make more progress in. And like I said, even in the intermediate stage, that priority is going to change over time. So, there's going to be periods where you just really want to get that listening comprehension in, and that means focus a lot more on improving that skill, right? That means try to listen a lot more than what you're doing, whether that's incorporating listening in the morning, maybe that's being replaced with another different activity, right? Maybe it's even just trying to listen on your walks or working out, right? And that's how you get over those hurdles. That's how you get over that plateau, is by really asking yourself, what do I need to focus on, right? What do I need to put my energy and effort into when I'm learning a language? And this really actually happens with every skill set, right? You think, oh, it's only with words and listening. No, it even can happen with something like speaking, where a lot of people put in a lot of effort into the vocabulary acquisition and listening comprehension, and their speaking is just not there, right? They stutter a little bit, they're making grammar mistakes, and they just kind of, I'm not feeling it, I'm not making a lot of progress, and they have that one conversation partner meeting a week. But really, it's okay, if I want to get better, I need to ramp it up, right? It seems obvious, but you need to ramp it up, right? Try to do 3 a week, 5 a week, add shadow speaking, do something, and put in more time and investment into it, right? I think that you have to be self-critical with language learning. It's not just this robotic process where you set up a routine, you study, and it all just kind of works out, right? I mean, you can do that, but it's less effective, right? And obviously, we want to get results as quickly as we can and as effectively as we can, right? So that means you need to be assessing what you're doing all the time, right? Not all the time where, you change your routine up every single day, but at least being self-critical enough to be like, what do I need to focus on? What do I need to change up? Is this effective? Could I do things better, right? Because it can really be as simple as I need to put more time into this, or this method is not effective, or I need to do something a lot more fun. You really need to be analyzing and asking yourself that, because it's not just an automated process from 0 to 100. And this is where, focusing in on that analysis is going to help you, because you're going to find what is high impact, what is a good investment for your time, right? Whether that's, I need to improve my speaking skills because it's really lagging, or my listening comprehension is not what I want it to be, right? Rather than just kind of accepting that and trusting the process. And of course, if you probably do that long enough, you're going to get results. Change your behaviors just a little bit, right? Focus, extra time onto listening comprehension. Focus extra time into word acquisition. And by changing the proportion of the ingredients in your process, you're gonna make more progress every single week, right? And it doesn't have to be a lot. It could be 10%. That's enough to make the difference. And even then too, if you're focusing on those skills that you want to focus on, or you need to, right, you're gonna be more motivated, right? Because you're gonna feel like, okay, I have this issue with speaking and stuttering, and I'm getting over it because I'm putting in that time. That makes you feel good, right? It makes you feel like you're overcoming those obstacles, or you're doing the things that you want to do. So it really is simple as that. So when you are doing language learning, always be assessing whether or not what you're doing is effective, right? Can you have a higher impact by changing the amount of studying that you're doing in a certain area, or doing something differently? Because those micro optimizations are going to help you to get to your goals a lot quicker, and you're going to have a lot more effectiveness over the long term, and ultimately that's going to make you have more fun in the language learning process. So let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.